Good morning. Today we are on the Sacramento Northern again. Hopefully people don't get sick of this route because I like it. And today we're playing two scenarios, Boneheaded Ballast Part 1 and Imaginatively Part 2. They're by a guy named jbfried, and he's pretty well known for making scenarios that are just a little bit different. I think people who aren't trained people might find his scenarios quite difficult, but if you're used to working with sets of trains, then you'll be fine. And whether that's real ones or whether that's you've just done plenty of shunting puzzles and things in the game, either would be fine. So this week I'd also like to thank my most interactive people on the comment, and that's Connie and Sean, because they are just loving it. And thanks for all the comments. Enjoy chatting. And the most helpful one, I had a problem with PZB and I couldn't tell what was going on, and User Singers actually helped me out with a comment that's actually helped me play that one now, so that's kind of cool. And we've got some new subscribers. We've got Ivan, Tony, Doug, Astrofra, I think that's how you say that, Stephen and Dudley. So welcome along. Well, let's get started then. So this is a workshop scenario. You can pick up workshop things for any route that you own. You can always subscribe to workshop things that you don't own, but you won't be able to play them. And they're basically scenarios made by community members. I've put up a few, and there are literally thousands of them. And they really enrich the game. When you're using workshop scenarios, though, one thing I would suggest is have a minimum number of workshop things installed, because if you've got lots and lots of them, sometimes you get problems with the game. And it can be really hard to figure out which one of them's doing it. So let's get started. That's a nice screenshot. I should enter these screenshot competitions. It's one of those things I never seem to get around to doing. Cool. So we're starting at night time because freight operations happen at night on this line. And we are to deliver a set of flat cars to Sacramento Northern Storage West for interchange with the ATSF. So that's actually at a place called Port Chicago, which doesn't exist anymore. And we will then move 6 hoppers filled with gravel ballast west to Lafayette. Lafayette does exist. So I think, Michael, you've had challenges with workshop scenarios too occasionally. So somewhere around here there's a train. If we turn on its lights, there it is. And let's just check our map to see what's going on. So we're set into this road coming into here. That's fine, so we'll leave that set that way, and the points are set coming out of there as well, so if we overrun or do something bad, that'll be fine. So let's take these things in.
Yeah, I'm very careful with which ones I download now.
I'll download nearly anything, but excuse me, I minimize how many new ones I put in at any one time, so that when I do get the problem, because you get the infamous out of memory error on the game. It's not really out of memory, it's just confused. It's amazing how much of this train we can't see. Look at that, there's some black, there's some more black, and there's some more black down there. And people complain about TSW2. Ooh, my mouse is going out on screen. I didn't think I had mouse capture on. Oh, I'll fix that later. I have learnt to not mess with OBS while playing. Bad things happen. So we're coming in here, we've got 2 locos, we can see them now. And we've got a whole bunch of flat cars coming in behind us, followed up down the end there by a caboose, probably. Can't see it yet, but it's probably there. And those would appear to be the gravel cars that we're going to pick up. And you'll see in a moment, well, maybe you'll just pick it now, but there is a slight issue with being able to pick up these particular gondolas full of gravel. I do like the way you can pan the cameras around in TS2021. It's I think, better than the way Transcend World does it. We're almost at the end of our stopping point. Hopefully the game's loud enough. So we've successfully delivered the first part of the train. Thanks, Michael. Now we just have to wait and see what it wants us to do. I can guess, because, you know, I might have tried this to make sure it doesn't crash. No spoilers. This is where the bonehead comes into it. So they've left the gravel out here on this track, where there's no electricity. You might have picked that up on the way in. And there's got to be a way. Let's see what you can figure out. All right then. So there's lots of ways to do this one. Which camera is it? There we go. That's the camera I want. And of course, behind me. No, it's not. Where is my train? I've lost it. There it is, all the way down there. How did I end up so far away? Ha. But anyway, let's just run down the train and see what we've got. Trying to do this while using a new trackball, get used to it. So I've got a couple of locos. Yes, when you get the ballast cars, we need to leave all the flat cars in SN Storage West, which is where we are, as a single string. And we need to be headed westbound with both freight motors, 6 gravel hoppers, and the caboose. All right, so let's continue our look down the train, because I want to know how long it is. So we've got a bunch of flat cars with stuff, with girders and boxes, and these are the gravel cars on the right that we have to pick up. Got some trucks. Ah, this train's plenty long enough. All right then, so we've got tons of stuff. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is come down here. And I'm going to set some points just a little bit differently to what they are. I think I can do it from the 8 cam. I can. And the reason I've done that is because I need to run around. Well, I will at the end. And I tried to think of how to do this in the absolute minimum number of moves. So we're going to try that. We've got plenty of cars here, so we're basically going to use them as floats, for want of a better description, to come and pick up these gravel cars. Now I need to set these points as well by the look of it. Good, done those ones. And probably these ones will just leave the way they are for the moment, because they're set straight. And the next one should be set for us to come back into here. And they are. Cool. And we don't need to worry about the ones at the other end, because not important. Oh, don't do that. Actually, at these points I want to go and hover around anyway. Come and sit down here. We can be the shunter today. Just move that pointer away from the points so I don't accidentally change them under the train, because that goes well. So you can't just fly out there and pick up these gravel cars, because there's no overhead power out there. And these little motor units aren't made by Tesla. No batteries. probably don't have to use the entire train for this because it's quite long, but I am, because I want to minimise the moves and minimise the mucking around to put it back together again afterwards. Hopefully you guys like the new music at the start of the stream there. It's by a guy named Bottleneck John, and he composed that for me ages ago for a video I've got on YouTube called 11 Minutes to Gembrook, which is a time-lapse feature of the Puffing Billy Railway. Nearly there. One car to go. Just want to let that get far enough away so I'll actually be able to change these points. That should do. Alright, so let's start him off going backwards. While that's happening, we can go flying up to here to where these cars are. Now I've already set these points. Just check and make sure. Yep, because occasionally the game does change them. Not often, but people do build it into their scenario sometimes. I better move that orange juice away from my rail driver or things are going to end badly. Throttled off. One thing I just remembered. Actually, what I'll do it the safe way, the way you would prototypically on a railway. So, one car and stop. What I was actually going to do before I failed to stop was pop in and open the couplers because they were both closed, but it coupled up anyway. Game is a little unpredictable that way. All right, now we're going to drag the whole set forwards. So remembering when we leave here, we need to leave all these flat cars behind in SN West. And we need to be taking the hoppers and our caboose with us. And the reason I went down the length of the train to see how long it was should become apparent in a moment. There's just enough room to do what I want to do. So here's our gravel cars. Change them back now. That should start heading towards me by now, hopefully. Maybe if I gave it some throttle, it might help. And there should be just enough room to bring the whole train down to here. And put the last car just conveniently under this light where we can couple on the straight. Because if you've ever tried coupling on a real railway, doing it on a curve is not fun. Because you have to get the angles of your couplers right so that they actually connect. And it's never quite apparent if they're going to connect until they actually do or don't. It's good to hear my horn-happy neighbour who's moving out soon because their house is for sale. They've basically decided to stick the finger up us at all, and every time they enter or leave their house, they honk their horn now. Kind of hoping their other neighbour, who's an ex-bikie, might just solve the problem. Is there any such thing as an ex-bikie? It's an interesting question. Comes our train. So we're at about 8 cars. Just nudge the throttle up a little bit because it's starting to slow down a lot. I particularly like this scenario because it's basically what railway life is. You get given a list of things that you need to do as you progress along the railway, and it's up to you to figure out how to do it. Now, 4 cars. 3 cars. 2 cars, 1 car, and stopping there should be fine, I think. Cool. Now, let's just make sure that coupler, looks like it actually is open anyway. And let's head back up to the locos now. It's the life of a shunter just flying through the air. So we don't quite want to go to the locos. We want to go here first. We want to uncouple. So the 2 trains are now separate. And just to stop them coupling together again, I'm going to pull that just slightly ahead. That'll be fine. That's just to stop them coupling up when I uncouple the locos, because they always move a little bit when you uncouple the locos. And what I should find up here is that the locos are clear of the points. And lovely they are. Alright, let's uncouple these ones. And we have succeeded in that part of the marshalling instructions, so the flat cars are in the right place. Can send our locos away up there. I'm not sure if you can actually ride the locos during shunting maneuvers in TS2021. I've not found a way to do it. Doesn't mean you can't, but I haven't found a way. I know you can in TSW2. And I know you can in Run 8 as well. Well, it's a bit difficult to get on them in Run 8. Stop them just clear of the crossing, or just on it, whatever. Alright. Start them going the other way, and we will head down the other end as well. Just stop them accelerating, or they're going to pass us. By the sounds of things, they might pass me anyway. One thing that was a little bit of a challenge with this scenario when I test played it, I hadn't thought to set the points at the other end of this road when I test played it. And of course you come up here and you go, it's a red signal, now what do I do? But being TS, you can just change the points, it's all good. Alright then, so we shall come down here now and wait for our train. So let's wait over here at these points because they're the ones we need to change. The other trick here is you need to take it a little bit further away because you actually have to clear the signal. So I've got to take it down to that dark bit down there. Otherwise you can't come back. I'll have to change cabs soon too. Last time I did that, it didn't go so well. Could just stay in the same cab, drive backwards. So once he's passed, I can change these points. And that's a good enough place for him to stop. And now we can bring him back. And we want to couple up to these. That's a nice spot for a screenshot, why not? I think it did it. It did. Now couple these nice and gentle so I don't push them into the other cars and couple them up again. Beautiful. Now I'm trying to think which it is to change cabs. I've actually forgotten what button it is. Let's have a look. It's a bit embarrassing, isn't it? Switch to next forward cab. Control equals. Probably the next rearward cab though, so it's control minus. Alright. Let's get out of here. Continue. Just get the headlight off there. And go into the cab. Control minus. That should put us in the right cab. No, that put us in the other one. Now in the right cab. We're facing the wrong way in the right cab, but we're in the right cab. Well, that'll just have to do, won't it? Which way did the headlight go on then? That way. Good. Hopefully this will work. Ah, you're going the wrong way. There we go. The first time I played this, I took so long that dawn broke, and I could see. What's going on here? What's going on here? Why did they come with me? I'm glad I had a look. That tiny little nudge I gave it in the wrong direction must have coupled them again. That's funny.
Because you coupled up to them again.
Yep. Yep. That is pretty likely. Sigh. That's okay, at least I looked. Otherwise, I would have taken them all with me to Lafayette and then gone, now what? They actually do belong a little bit further up, but we've passed that part of the scenario, so hopefully that's still okay. Let's check. Yeah, so now we're up to the marshal instruction, so we've still succeeded in the other one. Bye-bye, train. You can only tell where he is from the sparks on the pantograph and the headlights. And that means we have got the correct cars going out. Do you know, if I'd gone a couple more meters then, or hang on, we're in America, yards, would have failed the scenario. Won't let me quite turn all the way around. Oh well, that will be our view. Now we have 1.4 miles of driving along in the darkness until we get to our railroad crossing. Where we have to stop and give way to any other trains. Because this railroad is very much a second-class citizen in the scheme of things. new trains coming. I did try and build a scenario where I actually had a meet, not on this crossing, on the next one down. I made it work, but I couldn't publish it because it uses stuff that's not on this route. So it's not so much that I couldn't publish it, it's just that no one would be able to play it. All right, off we go again. Obviously these cars are pretty heavy, bit of wheel slip. I've got 7.5 miles of travelling in darkness, yay! Road crossing. It's a problem when you're not in the cab, you don't see them coming. Someone else out for a bit of a cruise in the middle of the night. Was a bit juddery there. Just as I took my tea. Coming up into Concord. Need to pick this scenario apart because he's managed to make all the stations and things disappear. Out of the little scrolling route map in the HUD there. I'm not quite sure how he does that. Don't know what she's waiting for. No more passenger trains at night time. Back into the darkness for a little while. Two and a half miles to the SP crossing. Hello, cows. Who else thought he wasn't going to stop? The 2022 version of this game is almost due out. It's coming out with 3 updated old routes and 1 deluxe version route that they have not announced. And sadly, there are no core changes to the game at all. Got a straight answer from Jamie on the DTG stream for that this week. So not even making fast load the default, which I would have thought would be a good thing because most people probably don't even know about the fast load option. So I already own one of the routes that it's going to come out with, so we'll see what the pricing's like, whether I bother buying it to get the other 2. And we'll see what the deluxe edition is, but I have a faint suspicion I'll probably wait for a sale. Because you get the update to the routes you own as it is. And the update to the game to change it from saying 21 to 22.
Yeah, same with me.
And it'll be interesting to see what the other one is. And I need to think of something to do next week because, well, this week was going to be Brighton Midland, but that didn't happen, so this happened. And doesn't look like next week will be Brighton Midland either because they didn't do a stream on it this week. And they normally do 2 weeks of streams before they release. Just going to leave him slowly accelerating because we need to something I learnt from my pre-play is that it's not actually set up. Somewhere down here. Oi. Oh, I didn't exit the map. Stop that. So he's only just coming into Pleasant Hill up there. That'll be fine. Is it this one? No, this one's okay. This is Walnut Creek. There we go. Because it wants you to go via Saranap, which is this one, but
I hate that when that happens.
but the points are set that way. And then you end up having to back up again. And then we have to go to Lafayette Junction. I'm glad I remembered that. I don't know if jbfried did that intentionally. We need to arrive at Lafayette with this gravel, but we can't deliver until morning, so we'll park our train at Lafayette sand and gravel siding. We will turn as soon as operations open. Goodo. And of course that popped up and makes you think you're almost there, so you start looking for this mythical siding, but it's a while away. Keep on cruising through the darkness. Don't know if it's coming across in the stream, but it's very juddery today. I have to wonder if my computer's doing something stupid like Windows updates. At that crossing, if you time it well enough, the cars drive straight through your train.
That happens on a number of routes.
Another passenger waiting for a train that's going to come tomorrow. Another one. Yeah, what do you do for kicks in this town at night? We go and hang around down the station and wait for trains.
Maybe they're rail fans.
Maybe they are. The somewhat derogatory term for rail fans in Australia is gunzels. Is there a term like that in Canada, Michael? Naughty me, speeding. This is where I came and set the points on the map. To set our own switches. Good-o. Worry about that when we get there. It's the lever. Ah, there it is. And is that one set right already? No, it's smack in the middle. Derail. Now it's right. Now we have to be just a little bit careful. There is the end of the road right there. So I think there's a track there. No, still tracks. No, dirt mound. There we go. That's the end of the road. And if I successfully stop without running into the dirt, that's the end of this scenario. And then we'll play the next one. This brings us in the daytime, which is a little bit easier to bear. Ah, nice shadow play there. Here we go, part 1 done. This is an interesting thing, it pops up this screen whether you've rated it or not, and it forces you to rate it, and there are times when I don't want to, because I don't think it's bad, but I don't think it's good. But that's life. Okay, Boneheaded Ballast Part 2. So we're going back into where we were. And the siding is too short. We have until 8:50 to finish and get to Walnut Creek before we have to leave the main for a priority passenger train called the Comet. Okay. Now, I didn't fully read the instructions last time, so it took me a while to figure out how to unload. Yeah, just out of interest, there's... Last time I split the train in half, and I'm curious whether you actually have to. So there's 1, 2, 3, and the unloading point's under the 4th one, 5 and 6. I think you actually do have to split it. I don't think you'll get away with it because the gondolas are actually slightly longer than the locos, so 2 of them probably won't fit there. Alright, we shall do that. And these points are okay, and these ones are not. That signal should have gone red now. Let's have a look. Not that it really matters. There we go. Okay. That'll do, I think. Just take it out across those points. Now, Let me just check the task list because I think we end up at Walnut Creek, which if I remember rightly is actually back this way. Yep. Good-o. So we will go up to the other end. Oops. We're going to cut you off. If I can work out my camera angles. And we want to go back that way. And hopefully that signals. Wrong. That one. And I can't contact signalman anyway. Why are you red? It hasn't gone back to the main line or something stupid, is it? No. Now, given we're sitting on the points and we are technically past the signal, we're just going to ignore it. We'll know in a minute if that was the right thing to do or not. Waits for the spad. Victory. No spad. Why can't we turn? There we go. It's funny, I can't turn to the right, but I can turn to the left. Okay. Ah, it's just a little bit weird. Oh, and now it's got me turning that way all by itself. I think I know what's happening. That's better. I have the mouse and a trackball connected. Alright then, let's go and unhook these guys. And let's just go up here and set these points. Or not. That should be far enough. Where is that signal? Oop, too fast. Too fast. Lots of brakes. It's going to crash into the caboose. saved it. Never happened. No trip to the manager for me. That one should still be set right, so let's go. That was a little bit funny. I haven't actually tried what I'm about to do, so we'll see if it confuses the game or not. Because we're going to go and couple up to a caboose now. So that when it's time to put it on the other end of the train, I've already got it. I love those completely red signals. I'm just going to ignore them all. Prepare for SPAD. Some of the signals on this route seem to trip you up and SPAD you, and some of them you can just drive through them like they're not there. Like we just did. It's a very confusing layout for the power lines there. I can't imagine they'd put normal AC power lines over the top of DC power lines. It would just go badly. I didn't try this when I pre-played it, but I can't see any reason why it wouldn't work. And it's one less move. All right. Come and set back for the siding here. Now we can't do all the cars. We'll do the first, as many as we can. Two freight motors, 6 empty hoppers, and your caboose in that order. Did my caboose not come with me? So much one less move. Pretty sure we coupled to it because I'm pretty sure we pushed it along. Oh, well. It does happen when you try and outsmart this game. It just outsmarts you back. Yeah, it is still just sitting up there, isn't it? Oh well. All good. There's a gravel dumping effect and we get dust coming out of there as well. It's kind of like radioactive gravel, I think. It's yellow. Be interesting if all 6 cars do fit here, wouldn't it? Guess we'll find out. This is number 3. I reckon there's room for 2 more, not 3 more. Be sad if I have to split them for 1 car. If I squeeze really hard, I can get 3 in there. This is almost as exciting as an undergear train on a little railway that I work on. You push each car one at a time across a pit, and the guys sit in the pit and change the brake blocks and lubricate stuff. And you wait for them to stick an arm out and wave at you, and then you move along to the next car. It's got to be pretty close. I reckon that last car's going to fit. Maybe we don't have to split them up at all. Oi, stop it. Let's try it.
I think it'll work.
Just go really slowly, so if I do hit the gravel pile, it won't matter. Imagine owning that house, knowing there's just a pile of dirt between you and a train. It's going to fit. Don't need much more. That'll do. fits handsomely. No problems at all. You should have put another car in, Mr. jbfried. But as it happens, I'm not going to do it until it finishes unloading, because that would just asking for trouble, I think. And it's finished. Okay, should I do this? Yes, I will do it this way. Since the caboose wouldn't come with me before, let's see if it'll come with me now. Oops. I just want to see if the caboose will come with me with just the locos. If it will, I'll go back and get that train, because I really want the train. No, that's refusing to couple, isn't it? I can't do couplers on there. It's because that coupler's not open. It's just weird. Let's push it along for a while. I don't think we're going to be able to recover this somehow. That's a bit boring. So my being a smart ass and leaving it out on the main was not such a good idea after all. Let's just see if there is actually a couple button. Manual couple, Shift, Control, and C. Shift, Control, C. Why is it all moving? What's happening, game? Alright. Shift, Control, C. Nah. Oh, I think that's the end of it. Because we're not going to be able to move this caboose. Unless we just push that to Walnut Creek. Wouldn't that be funny? You know what? We won't pass the Marshall Point, but we'll just push the thing to Walnut Creek. And since it seems to keep rolling after you shove it, if I push it really hard, it'll probably go there by itself. Hello, Max. No idea what you're talking about. Max is breaking the Ghostbusters rule. He's crossing the streams. Actually, just out of interest, so if I change to the other cab, can I get the caboose now? Oops. It'd be interesting to see if it lets me do it now. Still can't open that though. If this doesn't work, the only other thing I can think of to try is swap the locos around in the other order. It's interesting that the traction motors have gone silent now. I think the game's gotten very sad. Now, did that couple? Oh, it might have. All right. Let's just go and set this siding the right way. So we're set there. We need to set, oops, this one here. Is the caboose moving? No. Bad caboose. Come on. Sound's gone all weird now. I think the game's about to have one of those things where it goes, I'm out of memory. Hey, there's a driver in both cabs. What if that's what's upsetting it? Anyway, here's the other thing to try. No, nothing's working anymore. It's like that loco's not there. Look at that. That's funny. Well, now we can push the loco that's not there into the caboose that's not there. Broken it properly now. Yeah, it's not recognizing the outer loco at all anymore. Oh well, that'd be the end of that scenario then. But anyway, it does actually play if you leave the caboose in the siding like you're probably supposed to, and then it works fine. But as it is, well, we shunted it, we had some fun, and now we have to do that. But that is life. I'll still leave a thumbs up on the scenario because I played it in a somewhat unusual way this time and it did not work out. But that's okay. Hey look, it did follow up my spads. There you go. And wheel slippage, 0.6% of the time. That's a lot. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. And see you next week. It probably won't be BML, so I will find something else to run. There's a great big list of really interesting scenarios and services that's popped up on the forums for TSW2, so I'll probably run one of those. I'll pick something that looks interesting, and we'll go from there. And the week after, I would think probably would be BML, so we'll finally get to play that. There's a lot of hype over this one, and I have a faint suspicion it's going to get a very interesting reaction when it comes out. I think I'll quite happily just stay out of the wars, because I reckon there's going to be some. But that's okay. They're entertaining, if nothing else. So have a nice weekend, folks. I'm going to go back and do some more painting inside my caravan. So enjoy. See you later. I welcome any and all feedback. Feel free to comment on the video. Constructive criticism is welcome, especially if I've got something wrong. I stream every Sunday morning starting at 8:30 AM, and I also do ad hoc streams from time to time during the week. Please subscribe and click notify to avoid missing out. Subscribing helps me by helping me see what content is good and how it helps the channel grow, or doesn't, as the case may be.